Welcome to the Love Life Language Podcast. Here with your host, Barja. I hope you've been having an amazing day. I hope you've been having an amazing week. And if it's not been amazing, just know that tomorrow's a new day also. So today, got my hoops on. Today, I wanted to talk about perspective. I wanted to talk about this lovely word, perspective, because it seems like it's just this recurring theme, topic, subject that I'm thinking about, that I'm hearing about, that I'm seeing about. And as I've kind of like sat in it for a little bit now, I'm like, I have to come talk about this. I have to remind someone about this, because I realize too that it's like a lot of times it's not even the things that are just, it's not these like big major discoveries or revelations. It's simple things that we hear about all the time, and sometimes we just forget. At least for myself, there's multiple things that I'm trying to improve on. There's things that I'm not doing so good at. There's things that I'm doing better at. There's things that I'm doing great at. So I realize that a lot of times it's like those little things that we can easily forget. And this is one of them. This is one of the little things. It really is the difference in your day. It can make the difference in your day. It can make the difference in your mood. It can make the difference in your life. And I've noticed one of the most unattractive things about a person in any relationship, in any day, in any way, in any point, is someone who is just negative, someone who is unappreciative, someone who is ungrateful. You know, that person who's like the dark cloud. When they enter the room, they're negative, they're frowning, they have nothing good to say about anyone or anything. That is one of the most unattractive qualities in a person. And there's many other unattractive qualities, but that is one. I think that's like top 5 most unattractive qualities in a person, whether it's a friend or a partner. It's not cute. It doesn't sit well. The only people that sits well with are people who are the same. People who also are negative, complaining, who just have this darkness around them. But in general, it's not cute. It doesn't sit well with people, whether they say it or not. So that goes hand in hand with perspective, because I've noticed that the difference in our perspective, the difference in your perspective, is a difference in your gratitude. It's the difference in your appreciation of things, of life. It's the difference in whether you're negative, whether you're positive. The glass is half full, half empty. And it's something that I definitely believe takes an awareness, and it takes practice to an extent to apply being grateful when you want to complain, to apply being positive when you want to be negative, or being optimistic when you want to be pessimistic. I don't believe that it's something that naturally happens. I think by nature there are people who are just more bright, perhaps in their personality, perhaps in just how they grew up, their experiences of life, where they are spiritually. There are people who are just more bright, more hopeful, more warm, and people who aren't. I'm saying all this to encourage you and to remind you that your perspective will make the difference in your day. It will make the difference in your life. It will make the difference in your coming in and in your going out, especially when you're going through something that is difficult. It's pretty easy to have a perspective of positivity, optimism, and just joy and peace when everything's going well. And even sometimes you can notice that even when things are going well, sometimes it's like you can still find something to complain about. And it's so important for us to catch those moments, because they really do spoil the taste of this beautiful drink of life. They spoil that when you have something good, and then you find something to complain about when you have a partner that is a good person and loves you and cares about you. But maybe there's certain shortcomings, certain mistakes they have, and we pinpoint those things that we may not personally like. Maybe you have a friend who is a good person, they care about you, but also they have weaknesses in certain things, and it's easy to pinpoint those things and to be annoyed. Maybe you had a long day at work, and instead of being appreciative for that job, we complain about it. So it really takes an awareness and an intentionality, which are two of my favorite words. Awareness and intentionality. Like, literally write it down in the book of Queen's Ranking Love Life Language podcast. And I want to remind you to be intentional with your perspective of your life, with your perspective of your day. The other day I was taking the train and I found myself just being negative. I'm like, oh my God, this train is like, it's taking forever to get where I want to go. It would take 30 minutes to drive, but it's going to take me an hour and a half to get to this location, because I have to take the train and then I have to transfer and then I have to get on this bus, and then some people smell like they haven't showered. And I was just complaining. For example, just a simple example. And I really had to check myself, because I'm like, first of all, let me be grateful that I can even take the train. Let me be grateful for the option to take the train, that there's transportation in a city that can get me where I need to go. And I'm thankful for legs that can walk to the train, because at the same time as I'm on the train, I'm noticing like it's just stairs everywhere, stairs. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, how do people with children and strollers do this? How would someone who's handicapped even take a train? So I really had to shift my perspective. Instead of complaining about, oh my God, it's going to take me an hour and a half to get where I need to go, and oh, I did this and that and this, I had to realize, wait, actually I'm grateful. I'm grateful for these legs that can walk, because someone might be in a wheelchair and the train isn't an option. Or I'm thankful for the ability to have a system in a city where I can get where I need to go at a pretty accurate time. So that's a small example, but it's little things that add up. It's little things that we can find ourselves complaining about, or being negative about, or being pessimistic about, rather than being the opposite. The reality of it is that in our nature, in our flesh, we're looking to correct things. You know, we're looking to protect ourselves. We're looking to defend ourselves. So we're looking for those things that aren't making sense, what's not adding up. So the flesh naturally is going to look for negative things so we can fix it in reality. But oftentimes we're just complaining just to complain. If there's no solution to it, there's really no point. But it takes practice and intentionality, because we're going against the nature of the flesh, and we're choosing the mind of God, the Spirit of God, and that takes intentionality. And I just want to remind you, in your relationship, whether it's your job that you have right now that is not the dream job you want, maybe it is the dream job that you have, that you've prayed for all along and you received it, and now you're realizing it's not perfect, because there's nothing that you will receive that is perfect in this life except God himself. Maybe it's your children, and maybe it's your situation with your car, maybe it's a situation with your family or friends or relationship or work or business, whatever it is. I encourage you, and as I'm encouraging you, I'm encouraging myself to be intentional with your perspective. So when we begin entering into complaining and being negative and being pessimistic and not being appreciative, there's it's something that people can sense, whether they're consciously aware, whether they are consciously aware of it or not. You end up having this sort of, for lack of a better word, this sort of energy around you that is just negative, and it's off-putting. It's not inviting, it's not warm. And over time, people who do that over time, year after year, you can see them. You can see someone who, if you're around someone, it doesn't take long to recognize, there's nothing bright. There's no light around them. It's dark and it's unattractive. They can look good, smell good, be attractive, be dressed so nicely, but a 5-minute interaction with them, you can sense there's something off-putting about them. And a lot of times it's the things they're thinking. It's like a scent that comes around them. It's a way they talk, it's a way they speak. And I'm saying this because as women, we are the warmth of this world. Men are out here rah, 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 rah. Like, we are the warmth We're called to be warm. We're called to be light. We're called to have a warmth about us, a brightness about us. Many women have experienced things that are challenging in their lives. It has taken that light and tried to dim it. But I encourage you today, even in your situation, try to find the positive in it. Try to be appreciative, even in your situation, even in your life today, even before things change in a way that you want them to change. Take a step to be more positive, more optimistic, more grateful, more thankful. It makes a difference. Intentionality. And that reminds me, there's something I wanted to share. I don't just want to sit here and chat. I want to also share things that I'm enjoying. This reminds me of something that I've been doing that I wanted to share with y'all, and maybe someone will choose to do this because it's really been, when I take the time to do it, it really makes a difference. And some of you might already be doing this, and if you are, you're like ahead of the game. This notebook, my father, my amazing father, gave me this notebook, and it's just a blank notebook, just pages. But what I've been doing, and there's journals that are made for this, but what I've been doing, I've been just writing things that I'm grateful for. They call it journaling, but I'm not a journaler. I don't like writing my feelings and emotions. It doesn't do anything for me. I have friends who love journaling, like they stand on it, and there's people who it really helps. So to call this journaling is strange to me because it's not really journaling to me, but technically it is. And it just takes like 10 minutes. It takes like 5-10 minutes. And so if you're not doing this, I encourage you to try and do it just like once a week, just like one day. So I literally write what I'm grateful for. 8 things, 5 things, 8 things, 10 things, 5 to 10 things that I'm grateful for. Okay. And I do this, and when I do this, I try to do it in the mornings because it really sets the tone for the day. So I write, I am grateful for. I am grateful for. This day specifically, I wrote 8 things I'm grateful for. In reality, if we really sit down and think about it, we could probably think of 100 things we're grateful for. But this isn't supposed to be a long-winded thing. It's just something that I find sets the tone, and it's just a reminder, especially when you're writing it down and when you're thinking about it. The combination does something. I am grateful for 8 points. I like to do this. I am I am gentle. I am humble. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am wise. I am intelligent. I am successful. I am, and I say these out loud too. 8 points. I think I did 8 points this day specifically. And then I like to do today I will, and just like the major things that I really want to get done. Like the top 5 things I really like have to get done. Okay, like for this day, for example, it would have been like film this video. Like I really want to get that done. I really want to cook when I get home later. I really want to exercise for 10 to 30 minutes. Call my parents, call my sister, get on this Zoom call, like just the things that you have to do. Because I think sometimes we can write our to-do list of like 100 things we need to do that day, but really it's like 5 things we must do that day. And it's easy to get distracted with all the other things, or maybe all the other things might be a little bit easier. So then we'll start doing all the other things and miss out on what we had to do. And then when I read the Bible, I like to write, today I learned. So like, it just helps me to reiterate, what did I learn today? And on this day, when I read the Bible, the things that stuck out to me were hate what is evil, cling to what is good, do not be overcome by evil, overcome evil with good. And that stuck out to me too, because it's like, to me, evil is negativity. It's being unappreciative, it's being ungrateful, it's complaining, it's a dark cloud. So like I'm trying to overcome all that fleshliness and enter into the spirit, which is good, which is being grateful, being thankful, being optimistic, being positive, being uplifting. So there's other points here that I wrote down, and I think that's it actually. So that's it. Just I am grateful for, I like to say out loud. Today I will, today I learned, and just a few points. And so I've been doing that, trying to do it. There's days where I missed it, but this is something I would love to be more intentional about. So I just encourage you, if you're not doing this already, and I think there's something about like the pen and pad. Like, I don't do it in my phone. Though I do a lot of note taking and writing in my phone, I just like the idea of sitting down with a notebook, with a pen, with my Bible, and doing this first thing in the morning. So look, coconut water. A friend of mine put me on to coconut water. It took me a minute to adjust to it because I think you have to find the coconut water for you. This is one that I highly recommend. I don't think this is easy to find. I don't know that this is on Amazon like that. I will search to see. But I've noticed that it's in a lot of health food stores or like bodegas, surprisingly, if you're in New York, for example. It's organic, non-GMO. It tastes like a coconut milkshake. I kid you not, it tastes like a coconut milkshake. It is so good. If you don't know the benefits of coconut water, please just Google it. Obviously, it's good to drink regular water. Get your water from your fruits and vegetables. If you can, though, add some coconut water. This one is like one of my favorites. There's another one called Blue Water. And there's some coconut waters that I don't like. So you really have to find what you like. And I love this, like drinking it when it's cold from the fridge. It's like life-changing. Life-changing. Get you some coconut water. Be encouraged today. See the great, the beauty, the good in life. See the great, the beauty, the good in your partner, in your friends, in your family, in your work, in where you are today. I know that sometimes when you're in a season that is very, very difficult and very, very, very painful, it's a little bit more challenging on the flesh to find yourself being grateful or appreciative. But the fact that you're alive today is something to be grateful for. It is. And in any season that is dark, it doesn't last forever. By the grace of God, I hope that this will shift and bring a change in your life. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Never forget that you are so loved, you are so blessed, and you are so bonita. You are so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Berja signing out. See you next video.